We're back with more tourney time. Let's dive back into the highlights. B South, number 7 York, number 2 Madomic Valley. Madomic takes an early lead with York's Michaela Cortez on the bench in foul trouble. Sarah Nelson draining the 3. Then Katana Williamson the steal at midcourt. She cruises in for the lay, and she had a great game and a great name for that matter. Madomic Valley moves on with a 50-35 win over York. Okay, Class D North girls quarters, number 3 Wisdom, number 6 Bangor Christian. Abigail Brown runs around the baseline and drills a 3-pointer for the Patriots. The Pioneers dialing up the pressure then. Lily Roy forces the turnover, takes it the rest of the way for Wisdom. That was smart. Get it? Bangor Christian still finding room against the Wisdom defense, though, beyond the arc. It's Catherine Benjamin for 3. Then transition buckets. The Patriots don't pick up Ava Lerman, and she makes them pay from distance. Wisdom with one more critical run in a close game. It's Roy helping to put away the Patriots. The Pioneers are moving on. They win it 38-28. D North, number 2 Central Aroostook, and number 7 Katahdin. Long range early. Emily McNally of Katahdin with the 3 to put the Cougars on top. Abby Haynes hitting the 3 for the Panthers. This stayed close early, but then really changed the rest of the way in favor of the upset. Look at this. It's a Katahdin over Central Aroostook in a statement, 69-37. B North girls quarters, number 4 Caribou and number 5 Belfast Vikings. Madeline Morrow has a step on the Lions. She helps Caribou to an early lead. Then Madeline Depre hands off to Ainsley Karen for a Vikes 3-pointer. Caribou playing very stifling defense, but Belfast breaks through in transition. Jaden Philbrook to Danica Gray for 3. Later, the Lions' Julie Darris finds Philbrook down low and 1, but there was just too much Caribou. Vikings advance past the Lions 56-24. Number 1 Ellsworth, number 8 Presque Isle. B North quarters. Eagles off to a flying start. Lizzie Bowles for 3. Plenty of that. Presque Isle's Marion Young ends up cleaning up the offensive glass before kicking out to Georgiana Curtis, and she lines it up and is good from the outside. But Bowles continued to lead the Eagles in the early going. Scoop, score, and 1. Ellsworth defeats Presque Isle to move on to a semifinal matchup with Caribou. Final score 76-35. They made an all-class state tournament record 14 3-pointers. Biddeford back in the tournament as number 9 seed. Tough draw against number 1 Oceanside. Mariners with star forward Bailey Breen. Nifty step back. 9-0 Oceanside. Biddeford started to dig out of the hole. Jordan Crump from downtown. Back-to-back 3s. And late in the first half, Tigers would cut the deficit to 6, 24-18, but Oceanside on a mission in the second half. Breen dropping another one. Later on, she had 33 points. Oceanside state tournament ride continues 67-46 over Biddeford. And guess what? Some Class A wrestling at Coney High School, upsetting the 175 8 seed Colton Carter of Lawrence pins Richie Simpson of Sanford. 106-pound semis, Keelan Berry of Marshwood Trape advancing 17-2. 113-pound semis, Isaac Bullard of Massabesic advances with a 13-5 decision win. 126 semifinals. You got Evan Madigan of Edward Little with the overtime win over Stryker Frazier of McComas. 132-pound semis. Eli Farias of Gardner just saw him trailing on points, but gets the pinfall victory on his way to a title. 138 pounds. Caden Dustin of Noble advances on points. Follow along online for all results. What a day at states across the board. And also, congrats to Cheverus on winning state girls hockey 4-0 over Yarmouth Freeport. I'm exhausted and can't wait for Monday.